You're listening to Court Reserve Unscripted with me, Ashley Owens. Well, hello, my friend.
Good morning. How are you, Ashley?
I'm doing great. So nice to see you.
I know this is a little quicker reunion than the last time.
So, thanks for being on Unscripted today. I'm so excited to learn about what you are up to these days with Positive Athlete. So, tell me, so it's almost Christmas. It has to be kind of cold in your state, but maybe not yet.
It's actually a beautiful day as I look out. It's about 60 degrees. Ironically, they were going to threaten to shut down our power because of the combination of warm temperatures and high winds. I live kind of in the area where outside of Boulder where they had some fires, very devastating several years ago. So it's a beautiful
Yeah.
day here.
Wow, wow. So, tell me, catch me up with what's going on and how you ended up at Positive Athlete.
Sure. At Positive Athlete, we try to recognize, empower, and connect high character high school athletes. So for me, I was driven to this by the mission, just the chance to establish an impact, leave more of a legacy. It's a really neat program. I honestly knew nothing about it this time last year. It was a hidden little gem built out in Western Pennsylvania in the state of Georgia. And just in January, we expanded nationally. So that's when I had the opportunity to come on board. Most specifically, I'm tasked with building out the Colorado market and then the 10 state mountain region. But we're a very small team of a dozen, and so each of us take on other roles. So my goal today is really to spread the word nationally about what Positive Athlete is.
All right. Well, I'm ready to hear about it. I'm ready for the world to hear about it because I think it's really incredible. So go ahead, give us the spiel.
Yes, it's a recognition, development, and scholarship program that's based on character. So if you're an NFL fan, you may be familiar. They're hitting it hard on the broadcast now with the Walter Payton Man of the Year, or there's a Clemente Award in baseball. Even thinking tennis, Arthur Ashe Kirsch Award. Though I'd also say tennis has the wisdom to look even beyond their sport. But you get the sense. It's about off the court accolades more than it is on the court. You can still be a great player, and if you conduct yourself in the right way. We'd love to have you as part of our program. Our sweet spot is really thinking those who've overcome, think injuries or family situations or other adversity, those who give back in their community. Oftentimes, and I think we'd see a lot of this in tennis, coaching, the next generation of athletes, or those who just do things the right way. You know the kids when you see them, when they have the smile on their face, they encourage others and just have a great attitude. That's really our sweet spot. It is a free program. It is a fast program. So it's nomination based. Any adult can nominate. So think high school coaches, athletic directors, teachers, parents can even nominate their own kid. And don't hesitate, just do it. I've heard incredible stories from parents who talk about their child coming in tears, reading the words their own parent wrote about them. So sometimes in life, some things are left unsaid. And this is one of those opportunities to do it. We'll cover this more, but just you Google Positive Athlete, it'll be the first thing that comes up on your search engine. You can also see some different recognition we've done for past winners and so forth. But my goal today, and actually why I reached out to you, is specifically with regard to tennis, but also racket sports more broadly. Looking at tennis, we have 152 nominees nationally. There are 143,000 estimated boy and girl tennis players at the high school level in the US. So in essence, we're only reaching one out of every 941 tennis players. So I know just from my own exposure to the sport, there's some really good kids there. And if you're hearing this as a coach, a club director, like put some information out about this program, share it. Like I can't think of a better, more affordable, easier way to really pay it back to the families that are supporting your clubs or you're giving lessons to. So, yeah, that's our spiel in a nutshell.
That's amazing. So, this is really an opportunity for coaches, tennis, or have you seen any pickleball coaches yet? Nominate anybody?
We've tried. I've talked to some folks at Yola, some folks at the different acronyms. I know there are a lot of acronyms in pickleball. So I don't believe we've seen any come through for pickleball, at least as a primary sport. But I did want to hit on that too. we really pride ourselves in recognizing all sorts of sports. So we've had archery winners, we've had judo winners. We work with artistic swimming, that is actually a national governing body. But yeah, so call out to for pickleball. I know there's a lot of great high school programs, but padel, racquetball, paddle tennis, platform tennis, squash, badminton. We would gladly take any of those. And if anyone happens to be listening or watching and you're part of the national governing bodies for those institutions, know that we work with groups like USA Wrestling, USA Swimming, USA Cheer to advocate for their own athletes. Thanks, Ashley, to your introduction. We have a little bit of momentum going on the USTA coaching side that we hope to push over the finish line there.
That's
So.
amazing. So if a coach nominates their player or a parent nominates a player, what does that do for the player, Brady? What kind of like what do they get out of this, right? If they win or are nominated?
Yeah, let me walk you through the process. So, nominations will open in September with the start of the school year. Little secret, they do go all the way till April 15th. You won't see that prominent in our communication now because people are apt to procrastinate. And because we recognize athletes and nominees all throughout the year, we encourage people, don't hold off, just go ahead and do it. One important aspect of the nomination process, which is basically a glorified form, is that once it's submitted, the student athlete receives an email congratulating them. One of the neatest things about this program is the data points right there that say 97% of those kids experience a boost in confidence. 96% are inspired to do more of what made them a nominee. And 4 out of 5 of them express an interest to engage further in resources. And we specifically provide to all nominees, so not just our award winners, but all nominees get free lifetime character, leadership, and career resources. So it's in the form of a Positive Athlete app that is exclusive to this community of nominees. You hear about a lot of great athletes talk about all the soft skills like balance and empathy, integrity that are so critical, not just in sport, but in life and in career. And a lot of our model is based on this notion that 97% of the athletes playing at the high school level will not advance to play Division I college and certainly not proceed to have a professional career, but they're all going to be in the workforce. And there are companies out there really struggling to find and onboard that next generation of leaders and strong workforce, and they value these soft skills. So our model is really based around helping our nominees identify the skills they are building through sport and leverage those into success in career and life. So
That's
what,
amazing.
yeah. So nomination is in, so we compile these. This is a challenge for us, and we've resorted in a little technology to help us organize and, benchmark some of these because we will grow this year roughly double from last year. So from in the neighborhood of 12 to 13,000 nominations to projecting roughly 25,000 nominations across the country, each of which do get a human set of eyes, as we look to recognize students all throughout the year. But the country is broken up into 7 different regions. Within each region, there's at least one market that hosts an in-person awards event. So last year, each of these markets recognized 7 boys, 7 girls, student athletes, 2 coaches, and that's another little asterisk here. You can nominate coaches as well. So parents, if you have a coach doing great things, even student, if you're above the age of 18 or you're have a past coach you'd want to nominate, certainly welcome that, and an athletic director. Really cool in-person awards event, and they get the chance to meet each other, which is always one of the biggest draws for the athletes. And then we do give out scholarships too. And I've consciously delayed, that wanting to talk first about recognition and development. But on the scholarship side, we'll give out more than $100,000 in scholarships across the country this year, generally in $1,000 and $2,500 amounts. But also think what it means to put on a resume, a college application, a scholarship application that you are a 2-time positive athlete nominee. And a lot of these kids too have an interest in coaching. So this is a way to pay it forward. And this is was a big thematic in our discussions with USTA coaching is to expose these great high character individuals to the merits of a career in coaching. And you can imagine if you're a club director sitting there and you're interviewing for instructors, probably to teach some of the youth students. And like if you saw in their application they were a positive athlete nominee, that's a great external validation that this is the type of people parents want to be working with their kids.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the thing that I'm seeing in our racket sports industry today is we are trying to make sure that people know that being a coach, whether it's tennis or pickleball or paddle or whatever that is, it is a profession. It's a profession that you can make amazing money at. You can make a career out of it. And so, what better to take high school athletes that have amazing character and allow them a springboard to be an amazing coach in the future one day?
Yeah, and part of we call them modules. These are these video segments from well-known uh, current, former college pro athletes, but also coaches. So you can get on our platform and, listen to some of the greats from the coaching ranks talk about, some of their values and so forth. It's been really fun to roll out this app in September because there's also a leaderboard. We know our nominees are competitive. So we already have a handful of kids who've consumed over 100 modules, which basically means they've invested 12 or more hours in bettering themselves as a person. And that's a badge, that's a credential they can show as they're engaging, for future workforce or education opportunities.
I love this. So, do you have a great story maybe that really sticks to your heart about an athlete that has gone through this process that you could share with us?
I am so glad you asked that, so I couldn't forget it. I'm actually going to share a few if that works. I'm going to start with the Colorado market because it's near and dear to my heart where I am. So, our female scholarship winner last year, her name was Avery Lehman, and this is the most incredible, inspiring story. She had a full heart transplant her sophomore year in high school, returned to captain her tennis team junior and senior years, ultimately qualifying for the state tournament. And along the way, she inspired others to the point she was invited to serve on Make-A-Wish's advisory council, as well as Children's Hospital Colorado. And this all inspired her to pursue a career in nursing, which she's a nursing scholar at Creighton University this year. So that's one. I do, and I'll share a couple other incredible ones, actually, but I want to balance this too, that sometimes when we share stories that intimidates people, that's not the idea here too. We really want to be an inclusive community, and you don't need to be injured. You don't need to have had a heart transplant. I'll share another one just here from Colorado in my local high school. Kenzie Bergeson, she, as a freshman, lived in fear of making a mistake on the court, really grew and matured into a self-confident senior. But along the way, she was voted a team captain, organized team bonding. She sent inspiring notes to teammates, and she signed up to be a youth tennis coach. So those types of stories too are equally embraced within our system. But the three other shout outs I wanted to give. So Ben Lasky from the state of Georgia. Ben overcame brain cancer, which inspired him to go on and become a St. Jude fundraiser and ambassador. He personally has raised over more than $12,000, also runs a coat drive that collected over 200 coats for kids in need. Oh, by the way, he had an undefeated sophomore season on the tennis court. So
Wow.
Chastity Bright in Tennessee lost both her mother and father to COVID within the same week, yet maintained a 4+ GPA, was a voice of resilience and stability for her siblings and her grandparents, senior class president, and a leader in junior ROTC.
Wow.
And then the final one, Sebastian in Michigan, multi-year captain, USTA Sportsmanship Award, high school state champion. And again, those accolades are great. They are not required. And that is just one more, credential for him. We were interested in his story about his body shut down on the court, and he literally had to be carried off the court, which inspired him to pursue a career in physical therapy. He created a healthy cooking channel for his teammates and has even founded his own LLC in Michigan that is around a company, Clean Ingredients. So it's
Wow.
amazing. So
That I mean, that's our future right there, right? Of empowering young adults to be their own incredible selves, and just to, award somebody based on who they are and not what they do is something that I think a lot of people will get behind.
Absolutely. And it's a great, unifying, energizing, motivating aspect to the power of sport. Some of these people we may not have come across their stories, if not through, the role of athletics in our society. And how many clubs did I read you recently passed 2,000 clubs?
Yes, we did.
So literally, if every club out there could nominate one person or one boy, one girl, I mean, that would be transformational in terms of the impact we are able to have within the sport of tennis. It's a process as little as 5 minutes. If I did not hit on it before, once a student athlete is nominated, they can go in and add to their profile. So in that sense, if you don't know their GPA, it doesn't matter. Again, this is a program. GPA is not a requirement. So.
I love that. So to make it easy, coaches, parents, any adult can go to positiveathlete.org. They can nominate a student directly on your website. The student, regardless if they win or not, they will get an email and access to more character building, modules and things that they can take advantage of on their own. And it's just a great way to tell a student athlete, you're amazing and I am encouraged by you.
Yeah, people out there want to tell and share their story, and these athletes want to meet and network with each other, and that's what we facilitate. You can find us in the App Store. You won't have a code to get on the app unless you've been a nominee. But yeah, it's positiveathlete.org. There's a big fat nominate button. We're also on social media, both at the national and regional levels. If you do have any questions too, I can go ahead and just give my contact information. Email is bkellogg, KELLOGG at positiveathlete.org. Mobile number 303-775-9599. Don't hesitate to reach out wherever you are in the country. I can put you in touch with who's ever running your market and region, or if there are groups that see value in collaborating, we welcome that too.
That's amazing. Well, thanks for coming on Unscripted today. I hope that lots of people will take advantage of this for sure.
Can I close with one more question of you, Ashley?
Please.
So you and Tim have built an incredible company, with Court Reserve. If we do happen to have any of our student athlete nominees out there listening, what advice would you give to Ashley when she was in high school?
Wow. I would say, just be who you are. So many times as young adults, we're always trying to look at other people and carve our life to what we think others are thinking of us. And I would just say, stay strong, know who you are, and go down your own path, because that is something that I think Tim and I both did well as young adults. There was a lot of pull and tug, and there's life events that happen. And if you can just stay strong and know who you are, I think that's the best gift you can give somebody, and especially yourself.
Very, very well said, and definitely agree with that. So,
all right, my friend, see you soon.
Thank you, Ashley.
Thanks for listening to this podcast. If you'd like to learn more about how Court Reserve became the go-to club management software for racket and paddle sport clubs, come say hello over on our website. There's a link in the show notes.